Stephanie with the Ranchers Homestead. Welcome back. So late last night, I picked up my Azure order. The drop was kind of late in the evening, and so I didn't even unbox it. I just unboxed a few things and put them in my freezer and my refrigerator that needed to be in there. And the rest I left right here because it was late and we needed to get our nightly routine done. So I'm gonna go unpack all of this and go through it and show you what I got this month. I did get a few new things, including some things like kitchen gadgets that you can also get on Azure Standard. And so I will show you everything that I got, and then I'll go ahead and take you outside. This is kind of a two-part video, and show you my garden boxes and my garden this year, what I got in the ground, how I'm doing my raised beds, because it's a little bit different this year, and I am doing my garden in raised beds for this year, but I am also going to add an in-ground bed for next year. But with the move, this was what I could do this year. So I'm gonna show you that as well, since we are just kicking off gardening season. So this month I got a really big order. I am actually trying to transition away from going to Costco every single month and Azure. I'm trying to do all Azure and then do Costco like every 6 months just for paper products and products that I can't get on Azure, and stock up that way. This will eliminate me going to the grocery store pretty much at all if I can get this that way. The reason I want to do that is because if we stay out of the grocery store, we don't spend money. So the surefire way to overdo your budget on a grocery bill is to be going to the grocery store often. Now, I don't go that often, but I do find that when I'm going to Costco every single month, I tend to buy more prepackaged things just because I'm there, it looks convenient, and I can get it in bulk. And yes, I am only going once a month, but I do more than I would say when I'm shopping online and putting my Azure order. I'm not in the store. I'm not seeing all these things right at me on the shelf. I'm having to type in what I'm looking for. So I know I need frozen carrots. I'm typing in frozen carrots, that's what's popping up. So I don't end up adding all these extra things. It come to find out, you can actually get quite a bit on Azure that you would get at a normal grocery store. It may be a different brand than you see in a grocery store, but rest assured it's really good brand for you. And I can almost get everything that I was gonna get at Costco, with the exception of a few things like our gluten-free crackers that we like. We like the Simple Mills brand, which is very, very simple ingredients and delicious cracker. They don't have that on Azure Standard, but I can get it at Costco in a big box. And so I'm making a list of things that I can't find on Azure, but that I can get at Costco. And if it's a dry ingredient or something that can be frozen, then I can just go once a month and get all of that down and knock it out and get it for like 6 months at a time. It eliminates me going there every month and spending money that doesn't need to be spent on things that I wouldn't ordinarily buy. Okay, so we're gonna go through this order. I have a lot here. My entire island is full, so we're just gonna kind of make our way around the island and go piece by piece. Some of the things are things that I get every single month, and some of them are new that I'm trying this month. So I always get my spices. This is just mustard seed powder. So I ended up making my own mustard. We were out of mustard, and I made my own mustard the other day. Just me and one daughter like mustard, and it was delicious, so easy, and it was just simple pantry staples. I already keep mustard powder on my shelf, And so it was that, some vinegar, water. It was very, very, very simple. So I went ahead and got some more mustard powder for in the future when we need that. I got some corn flour here in a 25-pound bag. I have all-purpose flour for my husband's bread. And I have white rice flour down here. So those are 3 25-pound bags of that stuff. I got all of my potatoes for the month, which is some russet potatoes. These are golden potatoes or yellow potatoes, and 1 bag of red. And I always get my potatoes, I think I share this every single month, but I only keep 1 bag in at a time. The rest I put out in my shop fridge and they keep for the entire month. Ended up getting a 5-gallon bucket with a lid because this corn flour I've never bought before, but I'm trying out a new all-purpose flour for gluten-free, and it calls for corn flour, and so I wanted to get put it in a white bucket, and I got a big bag of it. This is actually really delicious flour. I've already tried it a little bit with the substitution because I didn't have corn flour, so I want to try it with the corn flour, but it's a lot simpler than mine that I have. Okay, making our way around the island. This is a big old box of lemon, and I'm gonna can these into lemonade concentrate. I got some frozen tortillas. These are spinach wraps tortillas that are gluten-free. One of my daughters loves to have a spinach wrap as a lunch sometimes. I also got some frozen spinach, a couple bags of it. I love to put frozen spinach or just fresh spinach in eggs, and so I had some left over from the garden last year, but I went ahead and got some additional bags. I got these tri-colored peppers. They're frozen peppers. I have 3 bags of them. These will be great in recipes. They will be great in fajitas and all of that. And hopefully these will suffice until our fresh peppers come in the garden. Since I'm trying to just do Azure standard once a month, I'm trying to avoid going to the grocery store for fresh produce and figuring out, while my garden is taking off, figuring out what I can get frozen wise and still get some vegetables in. But ultimately, vegetables at the store are better than if you were to go buy a bag of chips. But they're not very nutrient dense. So they are good, but they don't pack all the nutrients that a freshly ripened, picked, garden fresh produce does. And so I'm trying to get to where we eat all out of our own garden, and even if it's frozen, even if it's preserved, but eat fresh in the summertime and then put up what we can and eat off of that and stop buying the fresh produce from the store. It's a learning process. I like my fresh produce when I like it, and so it's a hard thing to transition, so I'm trying to do it slowly, but this will help us with that, not buying a big bag of peppers, fresh peppers, every single month at Costco for when I'm cooking and stuff, that I can just use these instead. Okay, so down here I did get quite a bit of frozen things. I have some frozen celery here. My family doesn't love to eat just raw celery. That's not a snack that any of us really enjoy. I'm myself included, which I do like a lot of vegetables, but not celery. But I do like to cook with it, and I do use it in recipes. So what I found that it doesn't make the most sense to buy celery regularly. And so if I just buy the frozen, already chopped celery from Azure Standard, I can keep it in my freezer for months at a time and pull out a cup, half a cup, quarter cup, whatever the recipe calls for. Or if it says a stalk, slice up a stalk of celery, I usually take about a quarter cup out of sliced celery and throw it in any soup or recipe, and that works perfect for us. I feel like we're wasteful when I buy heads of celery to cut up because we won't eat it fresh. And I used to grow it and then freeze it. And that may be something I do in the future, but it doesn't last in the summertime here. I'd have to do it in the fall, and I have yet to get a fall garden in since we've lived here. So hopefully this year is my year. But so for now, I just went ahead and bought frozen celery. I bought some frozen sweet corn, 2 boxes of some frozen hash browns for breakfasts, and 2 boxes of frozen green beans. So this will get us through until hopefully my green beans and different produce is going in the garden and we're able to pick fresh eating. Okay, making our way down the island this way. This is where I got some fresh produce that was in season and that I knew I could get that would last a while. I got some heads of lettuce, romaine lettuce. Got a whole thing of cucumbers. My kids love cucumbers fresh sliced. I did not grow any pickling cucumbers this year because we have enough pickles to last us for many years. But I did grow a few plants of just salad cucumbers because my kids love to eat them fresh. So this hopefully will get us through until they start producing. I may need to buy one more round of this. I did get some oranges. This is probably the last time. They don't look phenomenal. They're a little bit out of season now, so that's probably the last time I'm going to be able to get those. I did get some Honey Crisp apples, a big old box of them. We'll eat these fresh, and then I plan to make some juice with them. I did get 2 heads of cabbage. We love coleslaw, and my oldest daughter loves sauerkraut, which is what I'll do with the cabbage in our garden. But for now, this will help give us maybe 1 or 2 rounds of coleslaw this month. I always buy all my onions on Azure. I'm hoping by next year I'll have enough of my own that I've grown in the garden that I can store for us. We don't have to purchase them anymore, but for now, every 2 months usually, I buy a big old bag of onions. I keep these in the refrigerator out in my shop, and that does help them to stay good for that long. Okay, we are making our way around. We're almost through. So I am getting all of my butter from here on out on Azure Standard. I really, really like it. This is the Minerva Dairy butter, and it is Amish butter. So they've been making butter for a very long time, 6 generations it says, and actually it's really, really good, and it's very sweet and tasty. So I will freeze this and pull out boxes as I need to. Then now I'm not having to buy all my butter at Costco, which is what I normally do. As you know, if you've watched these videos before, I buy all of my cheese, raw cheese on Azure Standard. We actually ran out the day before I picked up this order. So I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't get 3 blocks. I'll have to be a little bit more mindful this month. And then next month, maybe get 3 blocks of cheese. I got all, so now we are at a place where this is, well, I got a few more things actually. I got my cornstarch here, baking powder, and avocado oil. And I always get my avocado oil in a big gallon bag or gallon jug. Now, these things are not food items per se, but things that I am trying out on Azure Standard. So I'm not trying out Pomona's pectin. I've used it before, but I was really thrilled to find that I can order it through Azure Standard. So I got all my pectin that I'll need for jams and jellies and that stuff this year in the garden when I'm preserving and canning. I got a few different sponges. I actually knit these little scrubbies that about that big that I found the yarn for. It's meant to be as a scrubby, and I love them. For whatever reason in the move, I lost 2 of them and I'm only down to 1, and I haven't had time to knit anymore. So I got these to just get me through for the scrubbing purposes of dishes, but I'm hoping to make a couple more of that and I won't buy those again. I got some mason jar lids here to screw on, and they have the pour spout, so I wanted to try those. I've shared these before, this is not new, but these are parchment baking sheets. Love them. I use them all the time. I use them for my sourdough. I use them just for baking. They are individual sheets that are wrapped up in this little roll. So when you pull one out, it just pulls out on its own. There's no tearing, any of that. I love these baking sheets, and then they are compact and not flat in a thing. They do curl just a little bit, but I love these. I have one of these, but it's broken. It's missing 2 of my things. So this is just a steamer, a vegetable steamer. It's been so long that I have not had one. Or I have it and I use it, but it bugs me because 2 of them are missing. So I found them on Azure, so I went ahead and bought myself one. I don't know why I haven't bought myself one sooner. And then I wanted to try these. We make our own French fries and just different fruit wedges and stuff like that. And it suction bases to your counter, and then you have 3 different attachments that it can slice your fruit, it can slice potatoes, and cut different things. And so I'm going to give this a try and see if that makes my life easier when I'm preserving big bulks of food. Okay, that's everything that I got on my Azure standard order. Now let's head outside into the garden and I'll give you a quick tour of that, what I have and what boxes that I got this year and why I'm doing raised beds over here and kind of what the future plans are. Okay, we are out here in the garden and this is a brand new garden spot for us. I went ahead and did raised beds over here in this section, and actually over there I am getting ready to start prepping a in the ground garden spot for more long-term food storage things like onions, garlic, potatoes. Next year I'll put my tomatoes over there because I can do one big long row of them, and just kind of leave these boxes here close to the house that are more fresh eating, picking, and my berries and things like that. So this bed and that bed right here don't have anything in it. I have strawberries that will be here tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and plant strawberries in both of these two boxes here. And then up on the hoop vine there, I have my garden, I have my salad cucumbers that I have growing there. In this bed only, or this garden spot only, this is the only in-ground bed that I did this year, and it's the only one I'll probably do in this area. Everything else that's going to be in the ground will be over there. But for this year, this is going to be, or for this year right now, these few little plants right here are my melons, and then I do have one zucchini seed planted, hoping that it sprouts and we'll get a zucchini plant. But over there, or in the back there, that is 4 raspberry plants that I have in there, raspberry bushes. And then I have blueberry bushes coming, that'll be here tomorrow as well. And this bed is going to end up being my berry bed. So I'll have strawberries right there, and then this bed will be all of my berry bushes. So that's what I'm hoping to have here, because then we can pick them regularly for fresh eating and then also to be able to preserve. But for this year, since it's brand new, I went ahead and just put my melons in this part. I will put I have a spot left for 1 blueberry bush, and then I'll kind of put the other one in the midst of this, and this will just kind of grow underneath it for this year, and hopefully we'll get enough fresh eating of our melons, and then I can pull those out, and then I'll get a few more blueberry bushes next spring to finish out the bed. Okay, right here I have all of my tomatoes. I think I planted 22 tomato plants. I have quite a few here in this bed. I went ahead and mulched them with grass clippings so we can give them a nice little boost and they'll shoot up. They really like that as a mulch, and it's the best free mulch you'll ever get. So I just use these hog panels with T-post at the end of them, and as they grow, I just kind of weave them up it, and sometimes I have to tie the top, but usually I don't. I just kind of weave them in and out, make sure to keep the bottoms clear, clipping off anything that grows, any shoots that grow on the bottom, and they grow really nicely on this, so you don't have to deal with those domes to do with the tomato plants. This works really, really nicely for that. The middle, on the other side of this wheelbarrow, the middle bed right there is also more tomatoes. Those are cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, and a little golden tomato. I think actually when I get my in-ground beds over there, that's the only one I'm going to keep and do the cherry tomatoes and fresh eating tomatoes right there. These are more paste tomatoes for all my sauces and stuff. Also in that middle bed is some basil, and so that pairs really, really nicely as a companion plant with your tomatoes, and so I put those there. And then that third bed way over there is all of my peppers. I have a wide variety of peppers, and then I also have some spinach seeds planted there, and I have some cilantro planted there. So I kind of just did what I could in that bed. We like a lot of peppers, and so those have red bell peppers. I have orange bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, and spicy peppers, snack peppers. We kind of have a lot of different peppers over there. Okay, and this is the last 2 boxes of my garden with the hoop. On the hoop, I just have tomatoes. They won't hoop all the way over, but I had a couple more tomato plants and I wanted to maximize my space the best that I can in this little garden this year. So I put up so many different things with tomatoes. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So I went ahead and did tomatoes over here. And then this whole bed I planted green bean seed. I do actually have quite a few green beans that are poking up. I'm really excited about that. We go through a lot of green beans. Not all my seeds have germinated, but I'm giving them time. They may still germinate, so I'm really excited. They're looking really good and happy. And so I will have all of that will be green beans. If I need to, I'll just keep planting more seeds and let them sprout up so I can pick them all summer long. And then on this side of the hoop, I have all of my cabbages. So this is a full bed of cabbage. And then of course on this side, I have 2 tomato plants that are growing up the hoop there too. So that is the garden that I have this year. I didn't get to do as much as I would like to do in 2024 just because of the move. We didn't get into our house till the end of March, which means and then our dirt work didn't get finished until into April, which means this was actually piles of dirt, and I wasn't able to get my garden boxes built and filled before in a timely manner. So I'm thankful for what I could get. These boxes I got on Amazon. They were very, very simple to put together. My dad and I did it in a very short amount of time, and I got them on a Black Friday deal. I think they came 2 in a box, or maybe it was just 1, but they were less than $100 a box. They aren't the most sturdy box, but they aren't the cheapest box, flimsiest box. And I think that they will do just a fine job with what I'm going to use them for right now. One thing to note, that when you're using a box that any kind of a raised garden box, make sure that you understand that they do get hotter. The soil gets hotter than a normal in the ground box because of, well, these are aluminum, so because of the way that the boxes face the sun and that the sun beats on them, it warms up your soil, which will warm up your plants. In the springtime, that's not such a big deal, but in the summertime, that could create them to bolt before they're ready to bolt. So just be mindful of that. I've done successful things, but know what you're planting in them, which is why I want to also do in the ground ones for different things. Plus I have more options. This helps with weed control. So we're really busy in the summer with rodeos and stuff, and so I wanted to try this method also for some fresh eating stuff where I don't have to weed as much and think about it as much. I hope that this video was helpful. It was kind of a long video with our Azure order and then just giving you a quick garden tour and what we use. But I hope it was helpful for you as you get started on your long-term food storage journey and just eating healthy, cooking from scratch, all of those things. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video. I send out 1 new video every single week. Jump on over to the blog and put in your email address, and I send out an email a week over there on Tuesdays with different recipes and ranch life stuff and our video of the week and all of that. I hope this video was helpful, and we will see you next time. Take care.